So that's a thing. So much so that I can honestly tell you I don't even know what happened. Because I had my nap time. Welcome to another edition of the Monday Night Raw Popcast, exclusively here on the Popcast Network. My name is Owen. I'm your moderator, as always, for this Monday show. And the real star of the wrestling content here on the Podcast Network is my co-host, Ashley.
I don't even know how to feel about that tonight. To be honest, after the last 20-something hours. So, to catch you up on Backlash, Miz versus Seth was good. The Elias segment, although it shouldn't have been on a pay-per-view, was actually funny. The rest of the show was pretty shit. I mean, the pre-show match with Ruby Riott and Bayley didn't give a shit about. Alexa Bliss versus Nia. Apparently, Nia managed to injure Alexa's shoulder, so she won't be wrestling for a few weeks. So perhaps she is as dangerous as we thought. And then afterwards, Nia cutting a so disgenuine sounding. This is for all the people that have been bullied. Be a star. All of a sudden, they've realized that fucking program exists after months of disappearance.
Oh, God.
Right, what? Then we had Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton. Remember when they fought each other in 2009 and it was boring? Exactly the same fucking match. The Elias thing was good. Daniel Bryan and Big Cass. Big Cass does not to me to be on Daniel Bryan's level yet.
The bad thing is that this is going to continue.
Especially when Bryan won it in like 7.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Casted all the offense and then yes lock. Oh, that's it. But the worst bit was the cunts in, where was it? Newark, was it? The Rock?
I believe so.
They chanted, "We want Enzo." So yeah, despite the fact the allegations of rape still haven't been cleared yet, these prats still chanted, "We want Enzo."
Why?
Who knows?
No, we don't.
Carmella beat Charlotte Flair in a chicken shit way, which made sense, but it sort of at the same time is like I'm trying to work out who's next for Carmella, if there is anybody. The no DQ match, which went to a hashtag double dick count out. It could have ended like any other ways, but it literally went to a bloody neither man into the 10 count because they kicked each other in the dick.
Oh, my God. Well, I mean, I guess considering the fact that this whole feud is based on low blows now.
Well, it's going to be blowing. It's going to be blow to the groin instead of money in the bank. Strowman and Lashley versus Owens and Zayn had no purpose other than to be filler. And even then, it wasn't really that impressive, especially because Lashley was the one that got the finish. Then, of course, because it's the main event, Roman Reigns beat Samoa Joe.
Well, hold on. Before we get to that, can you tell me why Lashley is using a delayed vertical suplex as the finish now?
Because he thinks he's Brian Cage / Michael Elgin / I don't know.
It doesn't work. I get it. There's 4,000 spears in the WWE now. But
He
I
thinks he's the
mean,
Black Goldberg.
then why can't he use his murder, death, kill? Freaking Moose is using it in Impact now.
Who knows? As I say, it didn't make any sense.
Just
Oh,
dumb.
yeah. And then Reigns beating Samoa Joe in the main event because, you know, we can't have a title in the main event. We've got to follow the trend.
And what's more important?
The crowd left the
Leaving.
fucking building.
Yep.
Because when that match started, it was 11 o'clock. They didn't realize that the one that the kids actually wanted to. Apparently, when Roman came out, the boos were deafening and they muted it like crazy.
Shock surprise.
As soon as Roman made his entrance, the kids left. Because it was somewhere close to 25 past 11 Eastern time.
Makes sense.
So if kids have got to be up at 6 the following morning, and I don't know how long they've got to travel from Newark, if you're going to have shows go 4 hours or 3.5 hours, whatever, do them an hour early. You can get away with it on the West Coast because, of course, 8 Eastern is 5 Pacific. But for East Coast, the only time I think you could do it is if it's on a holiday week. You know, if the kids don't have to go to school because it's, I don't know, like Martin Luther King Day,
right,
or Veterans Day or anything like that. But not on a bloody generic day. And then we get to Raw. How do we fight? Keep in mind as well, guys. So they did the shows in, I can't remember where in America, 2 weeks ago. Followed by the Greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi. Followed by a doubleheader in Montreal. Followed by Backlash in Newark. Followed by tonight's Raw in Uniondale, you know, Long Island. And tomorrow, I think, is somewhere else East Coast, and I can't remember. Maybe Virginia. Hang on. Quickly bring up WWE events. Baltimore, Maryland. And then both rosters do a UK and European tour. With the Raw guys starting Wednesday in Bournemouth, I believe. And the SmackDown guys in Oberhausen, Germany. So, yeah. I now understand why these shows are fucking terrible at the minute. Because the roster's fucking exhausted.
Oh, yeah.
All this fucking traveling. I dread to think what it's going to be like in fucking November when you've got the UK tour followed by the Saudis, followed by bloody Survivor Series. So, yeah, Kurt Angle says, you know, it's Money in the Bank time, so there's going to be 2 Money in the Bank tournaments. One for the men and one for the women across both brands. Tonight, there will be 2 Money in the Bank qualifying matches, which will be triple threats. The women's one will be Ember Moon, Ruby Riott, and Sasha Banks. And the other will be Roman Reigns, Finn Balor, and Sami Zayn. And of course, here comes Strowman, and he's just like, you know, did I ever tell you about the time I was a kid and all the boys wanted to build a treehouse? They never asked me for help. And when we were done, all I heard about was the handshake that you needed to get up there. And you know what he did? He waited until they were all in the treehouse and he took the tree down. So Strowman's officially murdered children. This is canon. So basically, Strowman wants in. Then Kevin comes in and he isn't sort of happy. And of course, we're getting a one-on-one match now with Kevin and Braun to decide the first person in. It was a pretty decent match. Braun getting the win with a running power slam, unsurprisingly. It was understandable that Owens was going to job tonight because it's his birthday. Because that's what always happens. And tonight's action and last night from Braun is why he needs to be in the main event picture, not stuck with fucking Bobby Lashley. We'll get to him. So now Roman Reigns is being interviewed by Mike Rome, with Rome going, "You handled your business against Samoa Joe," and I'm like, "Oh, I wish you weren't scripted, Mike. I wish you weren't scripted because that just makes you sound like you're sucking Vince's dick. Dear God." And of course, Reigns is like, "I'm the uncrowned champion. I'm getting, if I have to get the briefcase, so be it." Bailey wants to hug the briefcase, and then Breezango come in and say, "We've been briefed on a new case, the briefcase. We need to get a fancy glittery grabber." And Fandango's just like, "I thought we needed a ladder." So Bailey makes sense because she's a woman. Breezango are a tag team. There is no tag team Money in the Bank ladder match.
I mean, there could have been. I guess not. Unless it's foreshadowing of something we're not supposed to know yet.
Well, we've got 5 weeks. Goldust wants in the ladder match. Then Jinder comes in and saying, "Why am I not in the triple threat and why is Roman Reigns?" And Angle says, "Well, I might consider you for a qualifier, depending how you do against Chad Gable." And then Goldust quotes, he quoted $1 Million Baby and I think All About Eve or something. Now it's time for No Way Jose and Titus Worldwide versus the Revival and Baron Corbin. And holy shit, the Revival actually won a match on Raw. Sadly, Baron Corbin did as well. And No Way Jose ate the end of days. I don't know how I feel. One, that No Way Jose is getting buried. Because, like, how long can you do a conga line for? And two, it's as if they're pushing Baron Corbin. I'm so conflicted because I want both to fail because neither belong. Neither of these things are not like the other things. Neither of these things belong. That's what it is. Sasha Banks, Ruby Riott, and Ember Moon. It was okay. Wyatt Scott got involved. Then Bailey randomly decided to help out Sasha. And then, of course, I mean, I guess you could call it a double eclipse on both Ruby and Sasha, even though she only grabbed one. But Riot wins anyway. Ember Moon interview backstage and says, she's over the moon and she's proved that she's skill, honor, and heart, and she'll rise to every challenge. And then Here comes the Bobby Lashley interview with Renee Young that's pre-taped. That looks nothing like an interview you've ever seen before. So, who is the man? And Lashley goes, I'm blessed to have a great family. Keep that in mind. He has a great family. They used to tie him into a tree in the woods and leave him there for hours because they thought it was funny. Another one tried to kill him with a broom. His one sister used to have a security towel, but over the years it got dirty and a bully took the towel. So he found the bully and shoved the towel down his throat. And his last sister was Daddy's girl, and she was used to carry his father's helmet. Steady on now. Lashley took it and then showed a scar that he had from doing it. Now he has an extended family with the WWE Universe. He's going to have so much fun. And then before the interview finishes, he wanted to shout out to his little sisters and big sisters. So what we found from that is Ember Moon's scriptwriter is fucking terrible. Because it was an absolute shit promo. And then I think she ad-libbed because she realized it didn't make sense. And the ad-lib made more sense than what was given to her. And then the Lashley thing, it's like, so his sisters basically fucking tortured him? And this all of a sudden is like this 5-minute random fucking thing in the middle of Raw? If that makes it on the Hulu, fuck off. Sammy and Kevin backstage going on about all the shit. Jinder Mahal, Chad Gable, okay. Jinder wins with the Callas. Then attacks Gable. Further afterwards, after the bells rung and all that, and says to Kurt, "Are you watching?" My question is, considering that I've heard that bloody Jason Jordan's supposed to be ready to go, why didn't he show up then? Because that would have made sense, surely. Then Alexa Bliss is cutting a promo about winning Money in the Bank and cashing in on Nia Jax. By the way, Alexa was not in her ring gear, but we can officially confirm from last night, despite the injury, the tits do look an improvement. And then the Ascension says, we're going to win Money in the Bank. And I'm like, no! Don't cut these promos unless we establish that tag teams have their own Money in the Bank ladder match. But then, in respect to that, do we really want 3 ladder matches on a one show? So then Zack Ryder's in saying he wants to qualify in his hometown. Then Jinder comes in, and Angle says, "You want to be in the Money in the because Jinder wants to be a triple threat to make it a 4-way." And Kurt's just like, nope. So later on, Rhino versus McIntyre and Ziggler. You can sort of guess who wins. Yeah, the Zigzag Claymore combo wins it. The thing is that the entrance is now starting to grind on me a bit because, like, Drew comes out, then they have the record scratch, and then Dolph comes out to his music. So what's the point of having the whole record scratch thing anymore? I mean, it doesn't really gel with the bloody
anything really.
It doesn't even gel with Matt and Bray. Elias is ready to sing. The crowd's talking about bloody Rusev Day because, of course. Then it's time for him versus Bobby Roode for the umpteenth time. One thing I will note, when Bobby Roode attacked him last night, he didn't seem very, it seemed like he'd recovered pretty well from the throat shit on last week that nearly, caused him to die. Crowd didn't give a shit. And Roode is looking more and more like, why the fuck did he leave SmackDown? I will admit, though, the promo afterwards, Roode sounded raspy, as if playing on the fact that obviously his throat got hurt. Even though, as Owen pointed out last week, the camera angle clearly showed it was nowhere near.
Yeah, that was bad. If they wanted to do something like that, I would not have shown that camera angle.
Seth wants to be a fighting champion, so it looks as if we're getting open challenge matches for the IC title every week now, which hopefully means Seth Rollins versus Pete Dunne next week. You never know. And here comes Mojo Rawley. No, it's not Monday Night Rollins. It's Monday Night Rawley.
Why does this guy still have a job?
Smoke weed every day.
Oh my god.
Seth wins with the curb stomp. I mean,
Why does Mojo have a job?
hopefully he gets good opponents rather than Mojo.
I believe the term in UFC is tomato can. I have a feeling there's going to be a few of these matches, a lot more than there's going to be like 5-star classics, sadly.
Well, thankfully we've got options open for next week.
How so?
Well, because it's the London show, it's the UK. So you could have Trent Seven, you could have Tyler.
I'm okay with that.
Recovered from his shoulder thing. We'll get into that in a minute. And also Pete Dunne, which I don't know what the deal was with that.
I mean, he did have to UFO Chris Hero over the weekend, so it makes sense.
Yeah, but Pete was supposed to be on the show today and wasn't, and they didn't specify why. I don't think it's because his girlfriend / wife is, giving birth, because I don't think it's that. I think they announced the pregnancy, but not that, the baby's like immediately coming out or something.
Right.
I mean, I'm not sure. Dallas and Axel versus the Deleters of Worlds. And of course, we don't fucking get Bo versus Bray. Of course. I mean, they did for a bit, but they really didn't.
Did they tease anything at all?
Well, they started off against each other, but then Wyatt turned his back. And then it was mainly the other two on Hardy, because Hardy tagged in. And then when Bray made the hot tag, it was mainly him on Axel with like a big boot to Dallas off the apron or whatever. So, And then Balor, Zayn, and Reigns, which was pretty solid. I did like the way it worked, like to the end and everything. Because like midway through, they went into the crowd and threw Roman over like the barriers.
Mm-hmm.
Like within the crowd area, I guess what would be like the boards for the ice hockey games that happen there. And he coup de grace him off there onto the floor. Unsurprisingly, he made a save and was like going in with out of nowhere drive-bys and Superman punches and spears. Because of course he fucking no-sold it. And then just as he was ready to go for the spear, Jinder shows up, sweeps Reigns off his feet, and gets distracted. So Sammy can hit Reigns with a haluva kick. So he falls out the ring. Then Balor sling blades Zayn, I think, drop kicks him, gets him with a coup de grace, and Balor goes through. Jinder's smiling. For about 4 seconds, I was like, I love Jinder Mahal, and then I remembered and I went, I do not love Jinder Mahal.
Yes.
Come to think of it as well, I didn't even forget. I forgot this. Quite a few of the Raw and SmackDown people went to South Africa the week before Saudi as well. So they went South Africa, America, Saudi Arabia, Canada, New Jersey, Maryland and New York, UK/Europe, and then I can't even remember where Raw's heading to after the UK and European tour. Let's have a quick look. So the UK and European tour is going to Bournemouth, England, Oberhausen, Germany, Belfast, Northern Ireland, Braunschweig, Germany, Dublin, Ireland, Bremen, Germany, 2 nights, Prague in the Czech Republic, Malaga, Spain. SmackDown's going to be in Budapest, Hungary when Raw is in London. And when SmackDown's in London, Raw's heading to Birmingham, England. So the Raw brand is just doing the UK stuff, and SmackDown's doing everything else then, by the looks of it. Maybe. Then Geneva, Switzerland, Liverpool, England, Vienna, Austria, Newcastle, England, Turin, Italy, Sheffield, England, Amsterdam and Paris, and then Munich, which I guess will be the SmackDown guys, on May 20th. And then Raw is in Albany, New York. Oh, so they're staying in New York, I guess, on the 21st. And then Worcester, Massachusetts hosts SmackDown on the 22nd. Jesus Christ. Although I am going to try and see if Owen can go to the Orange County Convention Center to meet Nakamura or Alexa Bliss or Braun Strowman.
I actually know someone who might be doing that, but
Or go to the Englewood Neighborhood Center to see NXT Orlando.
I'd like to, but that's kind of far away.
Oh, and then of course they're going to Richmond, Virginia the next week. And Raleigh, North Carolina, as we head into closer to that shit that they call the thing. I can't even remember what it's called. Money in the Bank. Yeah, that's how memorable it is. We got 5 weeks to try and remember what it was. Maybe. So the most important shit to talk about is not that. So where should we start? I guess New Japan, considering that's probably depending on Owen's schedule. God damn it, I want to cover that live.
Oh boy.
Because it's looking to be a fucking incredible show again. So as it went down, the major stuff that happened on night 1 is the Young Bucks and Marty Scurll became the 6-man tag champs. And there was a show of respect before and after the match as well, because they are still Bullet Club no matter what. And then we get the prompt that Bone Soldier's returning, and I'm going, oh god. So Cody beat Ibushi. Apparently Cody's bloody vertebraker is called Din's Fire because he's stealing Kenny's gimmick of naming bloody moves after bloody video games.
Well, considering the fact Cody is like the world's biggest Zelda mark on the face of planet Earth, it does make sense.
I mean, yes, but
he has the Triforce on his boots.
Yeah, true.
Been saying this for years, everyone.
And Omega beat Paige. Cody tried to sort of interfere, but it didn't really affect it. And then night 2. So let's think where it goes. So wrestling, they did it. The first thing of note is that Taichi attacked Goto with his cane and attacked Elgin, which has now been confirmed that those three will be going head to head for Goto's never open weight title. And then it looks as if we're getting Jay White versus Juice Robinson for the US title.
Well, there you go. That's how we're getting Juice Robinson a title reign.
Hopefully.
Because Jay White has not been a very successful U.S. champion so far.
They then announced that Wrestling Dontaku will be happening May 3rd and 4th next year as well. So it looks as if we're following the trend that it has to be on the same days every time. So I think that means it'll be Friday and Saturday rather than Thursday and Friday. So then LIJ beat Suzuki-gun. Naito pinning Kanemaru with the Destino. So Suzuki grabbed a chair but got escorted out. LIJ celebrated. All the other guys made their exit. Naito was the last to exit and was slapping hands with people when all of a sudden he got grabbed and a fan started to attack him. Threw him in the barricade, grabbed the bloody barrier, smashed it into him, threw him in the ring, took off the Taichi, well, no, I guess the El Desperado-esque mask. And holy shit, of course, because the rumors were that he was flying out. It's Chris Jericho. Hit him with a code breaker, got out the ring, grabbed the ring bell, smashed Naito with it. Whether the blade job happened before that or whether it was hard way, I don't know. But Naito got busted open.
It was a blade job.
Attacked him a bit more and then made his way to the back. The backstage footage is brilliant of this. He's just walking through the corridor like, this is what happens, Naito! This is what happens! Get the fuck out of my way! Also, by the way, he's wearing a shirt that says Los Ingobernables de Jericho.
Yep.
Yes! So, yeah, he's walking out, nearly like threatening all the bloody camera guys, both photo and, film. Gets into a taxi and fucking drives off. It's just like, yes, one and done. He gone. Bye-bye. Oh, I love it. So then we had Bullet Club versus Bullet Club. Marty tried to body slam Farley. It didn't work out eventually. The big thing, though, which by the end, when basically Skull tries to body slam Fale again, Fale just falls on top of him and pins him. Kenny chases Cody to the back, and all the other 8 too sweet each other. Well, I guess apart from Ibushi, who just watched on. But, you know, the Bullet Club is strong. It's just the power struggle for whose club it is, I guess. The other thing that happened, and I can't remember where it was. I think it was... I'm trying to see where it was in the stuff. It doesn't seem it was noted in here. It might have been on the night one. The Young Bucks challenged Evil and Sonata for the proper tag belts, not the 6-man tag belts. That is also confirmed. So there's the possibility, unless the titles change hands at Ring of Honor War of the Worlds, hint they're probably going to. Because if they don't, that means the Bucks are going to be doing double duty at Dominion. Which I guess they could do if it was like the curtain jerker and then like the penultimate match.
Mm.
But I don't know.
I could see that.
I've got a feeling that the titles are going to change hands somewhere on the Ring of Honor tour this week.
So, sorry, I just checking up chat. Jeremy Mills, welcome. He said the best thing about the Backlash pre-show was Billy Kay and Peyton Royce.
I didn't even see that bit, so I missed the best bit. So
Tyler Powell Ginger Boy Wonders back said, I don't know what the main event was, but I will add nice to see the Divas get the main event in the main event at times.
Wait, Roman Reigns is a diva? What?
Well,
Burner. So Ospreay beat Kushida to retain the junior heavyweight title, which was a good match. And then Ospreay was celebrating after hitting his, I think it's called the Stormbreaker.
Yeah, correct.
Because we're stealing shit from Infinity War. And the Bone Soldier vignette aired, and Tama Tonga showed up. And then here comes Bone Soldier, who actually looks in shape. So that was the first warning signs. Bone Soldier beat the shit out of him, and Tonga unmasked him. The definitive Bone Soldier is Taiji Ishimori. So more Japanese people in the Western Bullet Club. Yes. Pimp Yajiro is no longer alone. And a very good main event with Okada beating Tanahashi to retain the heavyweight title. So the way to probably go is Okada goes for the tombstone. Tanahashi fights out of it. Okada drop kicks Tana. Tana returns, hits a tombstone of his own. Hits a high fly flow. Goes for a second. Okada knees up to stop it. Tanahashi dodges a Rainmaker and then another Dragon Suplex. Then another high flow attempt. Okada drop kicked him in midair. Went for the Rainmaker. Tanahashi countered with a Rainmaker of his own. Okada kicked out at 1 because no sell. Slapping shit. Okada managed to finally hit with a Rainmaker, and he breaks the record. And Gedo does his hype and everything, and Okada goes, he's got 3 things to say, because he always does. 1, he's got respect for Tanahashi. 2, victory number 12, task completed, and is focused on being the best champ that there is. And there is no number 3. But he does wonder who the next challenger is, and it goes through the list of all the people that he's faced. You know, AJ and, well, not AJ, but like, you know, Tanner and Sonada and Evil and Kenny Omega and Kenny Omega again. And then notes that the last time that they were in Osaka for Dominion, they went to a 60-minute time limit draw. So he calls out Kenny and he goes basically, you've won one, I've won one, and we've drawn another. How about we do it again? Only there is no time limit. And Omega goes, that sounds cool, but how about we make it even more definitive? How about no time limit, 2 out of 3 full match? And this is why I want to cover it live on June 9th.
Oh, God.
Fuck everything else. Dear fucking God. This shit is actually bananas. BANANAS. And they've just announced that Rey Mysterio is confirmed to be part of the card, but they haven't named who it's against yet. Realistically, I'd say it can't be against Ospreay because of... well, they'll be recovering anyway because of the whole Best of the Super Juniors, which is starting next week. Speaking of, I need to probably get the list of the card up for that, I think. To a quick look. I was also trying to get the results for some of the big shows from this past week. So block A for the Best of the Super Juniors tournament features, in no particular order, Will Ospreay, Yo of Roppongi 3K, ACH, Tiger Mask, Taiji Ishimori, Flip Gordon, Bushi, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. And then Block B, we've got Hiromu Takahashi, Marty Scurll, Chris Sabin, El Desperado, Sho from Roppongi 3K, Kushida, Taguchi, and Dragon Lee. And that will be starting up in Korakuen Hall May 18th and 19th. They may stream those first few shows for free, like they did last year. We'll have to see. But that'll be going not every day, but sort of all but every day in some cases. Right the way to June the 4th for the Korakuen Hall finals. Also, I noticed, interestingly, the final block matches are Ospreay versus Flip Gordon. Probably stands out as probably, and to be honest, Kushida versus Hiromu. I think that's the blocks that stand out right there. So yeah, that'll be going on down and everything. So let me get those results for Super Strong Style because it's strong and stylish. Oh, and Fight Club Pro. Got a lot of Fight Club Pro. So the other stuff that went down, Impact did their Twitch stream with Pro Wrestling Revolver of the Penta Does Iowa thing. Oh, wow. There's actually no Shikara results. I've got to go to the other place. Right. Just quickly bring that up because I don't want my computer being too bogged down. Right. So the Impact Wrestling show from Saturday. Penta beat Jimmy Jacobs to retain the title. in a street fight. Owen's confused because, you know, he saw something else happen.
Yeah, just a tad.
Rich Swann won the Matt Palmer Open Invitational Scramble to win the title, apparently, or something. So I guess I don't know if that means Rich Swann's officially an Impact, because if so, awkward. Tommy Dreamer beat Jake Manning. OVE beat Matt Sydal and the Rascals of Zachary Wentz and Desmond Xavier. Now it's officially fucking canon that it needs to be in this fucking show. Taya Valkyrie beat Jessica Havoc. They were doing some weird shit as well in terms of the commentary stuff, and the Impact Trivia will start with their Twitch shows in June. Oh God, the Twitch pre-show is just like apparently. AAW's Day of Defiance. Trevor Lee retained the Heritage title. The besties in the world retained over Firefox of AR Fox and Myron Reed. Phoenix beat Trey Miguel. MJF beat Ace Romero in a dog collar match. That's pretty crazy. Moose beat Brody King. And because they can't have the title, because, you know, people are busy in other companies, Jeff Cobb and Eddie Kingston of Wrestling beat ACH and Congo Kong. And that happened. PCW, which I think is the Pacific. Wait, they say you can watch it on Amazon Prime. Could I actually have watched that on Amazon Prime? God damn it. So Tessa Blanchard beat Chelsea Green to become the first ever PCW Women's Champion. Did they do that because of, I don't know what happened. Apparently Stephen Bonner's now working for PCW or something. And Penta's facing Sami Callihan at the next event. Where have I heard that before? For the MLW tapings, which, by the way, if you're outside of America, you can't see. Thanks, beIN Sports. What an international appeal that has. So Santana Garrett beat Chelsea Green. Simon Gotch beat a white belt. Conal Parker's stud stable of the Dirty Blondes and Paro beat Jason K, Jimmy Uter, and Rhett Giddings. Maxwell Jacob Friedman beat MVP. Barrington Hughes squashed a jobber. Tom Lawler beat Fred Yehai. Rich Swann over Koto Brazil. Sami Callihan beat Joey Janela. MVP beat Leon Scott. Phoenix beat ACH. Jake Hager, the former Jack Swagger, with apparently Colonel Robert Parker. What is it with this guy and not getting bloody Hicks off his gimmick? Beat Jeff Cobb, and then Shane Strickland beat Pentagon to retain the MLW title. So that happened. So the big stuff out of the Infinite Gauntlet, Mike Quackenbush now has 3 points. Cromwells and Defarge have 2 points. So they're getting closer to possibly challenging the closers, which, considering the whole Juan Francisco deal, makes sense. Mark Angelisetti beat Mr. Anderson because, okay. The closers retain their tag belts. And then we get to the Infinite Gauntlet, the 33-person battle royal where you can be eliminated by pinfall or submission or over the top rope. The big swerve is Jakob Hammermeyer showed up from nowhere. Flex Rumble Crunch made his return. Princess Kimberly made her return, but that was already happened on the last show. Lucas Calhoun was back in. Because we haven't seen him for a while. Glacier was in, because of course. And then number 33, Danger Hawk, went and bloody won it. So the rookie actually throws out Juan Francisco de Coronado with the assistance of Dasher Hatfield, very much akin to the 92 Rumble, when Hogan basically yanked out Sid.
Mm-hmm.
And Flair sort of capitalized. Except I don't think Danger Hawk is a heel. So yeah, that's what happened.
Interesting information as always, Ashley. Since we are doing basically an abbreviated version of the Wednesday show right now, I'm not sure if Ashley has been disconnected. I don't think he has been, but he's not talking, so that's interesting. My apologies lately for everyone, to everybody lately, with the fact that I've just been kind of like checked out on wrestling lately. I just have. New Japan's got me extremely intrigued, though. There's a lot of really interesting things going down that I'm looking forward to seeing how they develop. So, just making sure everything's okay. So, real quick, thanks to everyone in chat that's listening, whether live or in archive. Time to message Ashley, see if I can figure out what's going on. Yeah, it might. I mean, if that's going to be the case, that might be your show. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. We greatly appreciate it, as always. Like I said, that might be your show there, because Ashley, I think, just left. We might have to call the show here. It's hard when I really haven't been able to follow the product very much. I just kind of pass out, and I was like, sleep is good. So I'm hoping that Ashley comes back on soon. But if not, that's going to be your show. So you can follow Ashley on Twitter at AshIsMyNameUK. Also, check out his snack stash segments. A couple of those just got added to the network. We got some brand new gaming content will be coming back in the near future, in the very near future. And that's going to be in, I don't know exactly what's going to be coming up, and I know it's going to be coming soon. You can follow me on Twitter at Cerrone Disney. Follow the network at Popcast Network. Check out our Facebook fan page at Popcast Network. And that's going to be your show. Thank you for joining us tonight. We've got more content coming. We have Versus coming this weekend. This weekend's Versus was supposed to come out this weekend, but unfortunately, due to the Netflix video that pretty much broke AJ, that just came out. Yeah, we've got another thing for you guys coming out, and that's going to be a Versus during the middle of the week. So get ready for that. We've got Sip and Snack coming later this week. AJ's movie reviews and Versus back to normal day and time next weekend. So that's going to be your show. Thanks, everyone, for joining us, whether live or in archive. And in a world where there are a billion wrestling podcasts, we're very pleased that once more tonight you've chosen a podcast. I thank everyone for watching. Thanks, everyone, for listening. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all we're going to say about that.